Good evening. Welcome to the Westside Comedy Festival. We are Theme Park. How are you doing? We're going to be doing long-form improv based upon stories from our special guest monologist. Very glad she's here with her Miller High Life.
The only way I'm going to be able to share with you guys.
Guys, she plays Lindsay and You're the Worst. Heather Donahue! So, to inspire Heather to tell a story other than what the beer does, can I get a suggestion of one word?
Although all
Anything at
my
all?
stories involve me.
Go for it. One word, just need one word, anything else?
Ring.
Oh, ring?
Ring.
Ring.
Okay. Ring. Ring. Ring reminds me of people who are divorced. Because, because I'm a pessimist. So that reminds me of, so, who here watches You're the Worst? There was a pause there for a second. Nobody. Okay. So me and Janet, over here, we were filming season 1, and I was living in New York at the time when we got the show, and because I'm a pessimist and you never know if you're going to go for a second season, I did not move out here the first season. I lived in an Airbnb in Mount Washington while I was keeping my place in Brooklyn. That doesn't matter to you guys. More information, but I'm setting up the thing. Giving exposition. So I was living in an Airbnb in Mount Washington, and this guy owned a house, and I was renting his downstairs guest house. Now, I had just gotten out of an 8-year relationship, and he was a really hot single dad. And he was very attractive. So I was living downstairs, and we would just for a month, we were just flirting up the wazoo. I would just find excuses. He was an architect, that made it even hotter. So I would just find excuses. We would find excuses to go to each other's vicinities at the house. I would go up there and wear something that was really kind of lingerie-ish, but I would pretend that it's pajamas. And I would go up there and I'd be because it was furnished too. So I was I can't find the bowls. I see the plates. There's no real good. That's why I'm still single. And he was an architect, so he would text me and be do you need me to build you a closet downstairs? It was a really bad porno. So anyway, we ended up having sex and going on a date. So yeah, after we had sex and before we had sex and went on a date, so I'm downstairs in this guy's house. I'm in the guest house, but it's still, a garage, it has people's shit, their past. He still had stuff from his past in the guest house. So I'm cleaning out some shelves to put my stuff, and I find photo albums, and it's so cute, it's him. By the way, I don't have these nails. This is for a character. I'm not doing those nails like this. So I find this photo album, and it's him in the 70s, and he has all this hair, and I'm oh, this is so cute. Then I find a notebook, and he's an architect, so I open it thinking, maybe it's sketches of houses he draws or something. When you like someone, you want to find stuff out about them. So I open the notebook. It's his journal, from last year. So, the man, I hope he's not here tonight. Okay, thank God. So, obviously I read the journal, and there was no TV in the fucking guest house. I needed to be entertained somehow. So I read the journal, and honestly, nothing scares me. I read, I read about his divorce, and he's a recovering alcoholic, and that's fine. I'm he made amends with all these people, whatever. So I'm okay, this is great. So then I open more closets, and I find stacks of journals, years worth of journals, like so many journals. So I like read like years of his life. But anyway, so this is what I'm getting to here. I'm so sorry, Janet. So one night, this is like maybe like the third, all our dates, by the way, are upstairs. Like, it is with the mom. So we're on like this little date. He needs some mac and cheese. We're watching Orange is the New Black. And we're like spooning. So we start having sex. Spoon position. And all of a sudden, his dick is not hard anymore. Like, it's not hard. So I'm like, oh shit, like, what do you do? Like, it's like, I'm fucking him and he's hard one minute and then he's not hard next. So I'm like, I don't want it to be like an elephant in the room. Like, I don't want to like tell him like, hey, you're not hard anymore. But I also don't want to like sweep it under the rug. So I go into fix-it mode. I'm like, okay, like my mission is to like get his dick hard. By the way, I used to have real low self-esteem. Like I don't totally like only told my therapist this for a year. So then I'm like, I go into like fix-it mode. And I'm like, I do everything to get him hard again. I sit on his face. I like shove my breasts in his face. I suck on his dick. It's very demeaning sucking on a soft dick. I don't recommend it. Nothing works for this fucking man. But like I'm still in that insecure, like I want to like, you know, turn him on. Like it's my fault that he's not hard. So he starts jerking off, and I'm like, yay, good, okay, like, I got like cheerleaders like rooting him on. So then the next morning he goes to work, and I think to myself, I bet he has a current journal. I'm like, if he had like previous journals, odds are he has one today. So I literally like go through his house and I look for his current journal. He has one because they're all like the same composition notebooks. And I open the journal and it's like, he doesn't say dear journal, he just jumps right in. So he chronicles what happened. He's like, last night me and Heather, we watched Orange is the New Black. I'm like, I know, like. So then he talks about it. He's like, I'm so confused. I couldn't stay aroused. I find her so pretty. I don't know why this happened. And then he goes, to get hard again, I had to think about Dominique. Now, I knew who Dominique was because I read the book. Dominique was his ex who he cheated on his wife with. Now I feel like the nails are working. So, when he gets home that day, I'm like, I can't tell him I know this, obviously. I can't be like, I read your journal. But I'm also mad at him. And also because I'm in my low self-esteem stage, I still like want me, you know what I mean? Like I still want to like continue on with him. So he gets home and I'm like, listen, I feel like we need to talk, Sean. I'm like, I just feel like your mind last night was like somewhere else. It just feels like you were off somewhere else. And he goes, you're so too. And I'm like, it's a female thing. So then, you know what? Props to him. He was honest. He was like, you know, you really remind me of my ex, Dominique. And I was thinking about her. This is such a fucked up story. So, should I just leave it there? Because it gets more fucked up. Maybe I could continue. They have to do an improv,
No, but
right?
I just want to say, before we went out backstage, she's like, I don't know if I have anything to say.
Can I see on third one from the left, please.
Third one from the left?
Yeah, that little ring right there with the, yes.
Oh, you have a very good eye.
Yes, thank you. Oh, God, I think it's perfect. I'm getting divorced.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I just thought that, you know, you get a ring for when you get married. Why not get a ring for when you're getting divorced?
This one's called Wreak Havoc. Yellow diamond, encrusted with little dagger-shaped rubies.
Oh, I could do some damage with this. Well, it's going on his card.
Very well.
So, you're not wearing a divorce ring.
No, I'm not. I took it off after 10 years. I'm clean slate. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've documented these
Oh, it's a timeline. It's
yes, it's timeline of my marriage. It's all documented. It's all written. It's all out in the open.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a bit of a cluster here around 2014. What happened?
I picked up a hitchhiker. And I brought her home.
Uh-oh. Not supposed to do that.
I know. Well, she caught my eye, and I brought her home, and she's been living there. We're friends now.
Oh, that's always nice.
It's always nice. Yes. So the ring, you like it?
I do. I just bought it. You were here. You're nervous. It's okay. I do that to men.
I am. I know who you are. I saw the name on your card.
All right, all right.
And I am chagrined and humbled.
Oh, well, you're not good. I'm just a person.
Oh, you're too humble. You're not just a person. You're the wife of the year for 7 years in a row in Us Magazine. This is you, isn't
That's
it?
meaningless. No mean. You know those rags. They don't have any meaning to it.
May I take a picture of the ring?
Oh, certainly. Do you want a selfie?
Yes. Just to prove that I made a sale.
I just want to say sorry from last night. I don't know what happened.
I wanted to say sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were stonewalling me when you were pouring the coffee. I was trying to say I was sorry.
But you have nothing to be sorry for. I'm the one who couldn't perform, so.
Well, I take responsibility for, being there.
I mean, I was good for a while, and then I just, like, you're beautiful, I'm into you and everything, but I just couldn't, I started to think of other things. None of it really worked. Thought of red Fraggle. My favorite Fraggle.
Yeah.
I thought of Denise Richards, and I was like, I don't even like Denise Richards. I never liked Denise Richards. It's just like, I just couldn't think of something that would make it function. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I this is really easy for me to listen to, you telling me about all these other handsome related things and what's her name? I don't like her either. The fact that you had to go there, when I was right in front of you, that's I think what's challenging for me,
emotionally. That hurts.
I mean, be honest though. You started thinking of other things too, right? I could tell there was a moment where there was a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, well, for me, like, yeah, I mean, yes. And I'm sorry, for those moments. For me, it's like I think about, when you're a kid, you're doing, then you put the rubber cement and you put it on your finger and then you start peeling it off, so you're peeling off your skin. That usually works, but and that usually makes me think of that scene in Poltergeist where he like starts rubbing his face on the maggots, and that usually works. Just
No, I thought of that. I thought of that too. Yeah. I fucking love that scene. He looks in the mirror and then it's not.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I think back to 1982. That's when I got my first boner.
Are you talking about sexual arousal? We were working on your PhD last night. What are you talking about? Were you coming on to me? I thought you hit a blank spot, and I was trying to think of things to inspire you on your criminology PhD.
I'm sorry, it's a criminology PhD. I have to get to the mind of sickos.
Red Fraggles?
Red was pretty fucked up. She ate those doozer sticks and she did not give a fuck.
Wait, now I'm super confused. Is this a come on? Are you coming on to me now?
No, I'm sorry. This is awkward now, and I just want things to be cool.
It's awkward now?
It's more awkward. Yes.
Look, I want to help you in any way I can. I mean, if you think we should take this to the next level because your scholastics will improve, I mean, I'm open to that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and let you define next level.
This part, I rent that part out over there. That's the Airbnb. There's a wall there. It's in front of the. It's in front of the door of the Airbnb.
Oh,
It's
okay,
a hammock Airbnb.
I'm like squeezing my hand really, really hard.
Oh, I know. Let's go in here. I have to warn you before we go. I know it's our first date.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we started with the sex. So. This will be a lot easier. But there is an elephant in this room. Here we go. There's not a lot of room in here for the elephant. This is my cock. It doesn't work. The cock is broken, and this is it.
I don't think that's.
He's very gentle. He won't hurt you.
Can I just
Kind
say?
of a bummer to suck on him. But what do you think?
I need to go.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
come on!
I
Don't
have
do
a
that.
really
Oh
early
gosh, I
morning.
tried so
No,
hard.
no, no.
He doesn't want you to leave either. No, he's very gentle. He's very nice. And I don't want you to leave. We went through all this trouble. We had all that sex. And we brought you out of it.
That part was nice, but
Yeah.
you just said something about an elephant cock, and I thought I have an appointment early.
Let's back off. That's not what I said. Let's check the record. Come on.
Are you recording this?
Yeah, I've been writing it down. That's the timeline. Shit, where's the record? Oh, where's the record? That one right there. That's it. Pull it down. There you go. I was able to jot some of this down when we were having dinner. I ran up here quickly and put it back.
And by dinner, you mean the crackers we ate in bed after we had sex?
That's right. Yeah, I didn't kick you out of bed for eating those crackers either. Find the
I think I'm upset your elephant.
Oh, it's all right. worried. He's very docile. It doesn't. There's no end game there. I can't find you. Are you Dominique? Is that your name?
No.
Sorry. That sounds weird.
It's Ashley.
Ashley. Fuck. Hey, Edward. The E.
If that's his name.
All right. It's Linus. Sorry, I lied. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Oh, there you go, Ashley.
This is really one for the record books. I have to say, this might be
All right, pull the record book down, Edward.
worst.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad. We had a lot of sex. We had this meal. We had a good time. Linus, thank you.
So your date last night, I mean, mine was okay. He kept looking at his phone at dinner. What was yours like?
Oh. You don't want to hear about it.
I just asked. I do.
Have you ever like had sex first?
Yeah, like once in college.
Well, that's not the weird part.
Okay.
So, like, he brings me into this very small room that's adjacent to something else very dark. I wasn't sure what that was about. Then he brings me into a small room with an elephant in it.
What was the elephant? His past? His childhood? What was it?
It was literal.
An actual elephant.
An actual elephant. They're very docile. So then he proceeds to get my name wrong. And it's clear he'd been journaling the whole time. I'm not sure if this was a first date or a dream I had. Very nice.
Madam has excellent taste.
I think those are perfect. I think those are perfect for the outfit. I think they're perfect. I think
All-
you've accessorized yourself
All 8
very
of them
well.
are beautiful. They're all lovely.
I think we should move on. No, we give those the big, right?
They're fine.
Big.
Tiara?
Oh, yes. The surprise part made it authentic.
Here she is.
It looked good just in case you break down into it. Just in case. Oh. Catch it. 3 rounds.
Just want to be clear, these are not my real eyelashes. I just have them on.
Madam is on vocal rest, so we will
Sash?
sash. Stunning, madam.
Gloves?
Well, then we would cover up the ring choices, but that's up to madam.
We have underglove rings and outer glove rings.
Outer glove rings.
Outer
It's
glove
clear.
rings.
Outer glove rings. Now, it's clear there's no event to go to. We're keeping your things
Very
very safe. To be clear, there is no event we're getting ready for. We're just practicing for. Oh. Now,
They're made of titanium, they belong to an architect.
titanium's very light. Lighter than you would think. Lighter
Alright, if you have anything metal, put it in the tray here before you go through the detectors. Now you're holding up the line, there's a lot of people that want to fly, so. Pat down? Alright, but I gotta warn you, the pat down guy is nasty. Be sure? Alright. Hey Larry! Pat down.
Male or female? It's dressed like a beauty contest winner. All right. You turn your head. Cough. And I get that look. It's a vocal cord.
I was resting that.
Part two. Keep going.
Part two. For a different word if you want.
Okay, so while of the audience is such, should I continue with the fucked up tour?
I don't think they want you to.
Okay. But I do have another fucked up story based on because I could tell a story that's inspired from improv, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'll continue the fucked up story, and then, how many stories do I tell?
Probably great.
Okay,
It's
so
all good.
I'll
It's the
okay, so where were we?
Dominique.
Dominique. Oh, right, I call him out on his shit. He's like, you're so intuitive. Right. And then, I'm like, oh yeah, and then he gives me a very sincere, like, speech of like, he's like, I really like you. And he's like, I really like, he's like, I want to work through my shit and I want to like have a fresh start. Like, let's do this. So I was like, you know what, I'm all about redemption and stuff. So like, I'm like, all right, let's do this. So we start making out and like we're on track to have sex again. So we go into his room and we start, you know, about to have sex. He can't get hard. Like he still can't do it. So then I feel so bad that I want to like help him out. So I'm like, well, so I role play being dominant. Yeah, that was a new low for me. So then the next morning.
You got it.
So at this point, I became addicted to reading his journal. Like, every morning I would like check, like Twitter. Like I would like check his journal to like affirm like what happened. Like I would like to understand his psychology. So the next morning I read the journal and he's like, I don't know why I told her that I was still into her. I'm not sure. I don't know how I'm really feeling. Some bullshit like that. Anyway, again, looking back, I don't know why I continued on, but I developed like this severe addiction. So then, this is like really fucked up. Do you want to hear like the more fucked up?
Yeah.
It gets so fucked up. Maybe I should just tell the other story. It's like so fucked up. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am new edition of the journal entry, I find out that his friend Gabby introduced him to this woman named Johanna. None of you people are in here. No one's filming this. So at this time, he doesn't tell me this. He's still like acting like ridiculous. So, this is so fucked up. Maybe I should just tell you.
Go this far. Take a break.
None of you are helping me with my erection! What's wrong with you guys? I blame all of you!
We
I'm
tried.
taking it hard!
We've been trying for 3 hours.
Well, think of something!
I don't know, I'm just an intern.
I could pop some popcorn.
Well, maybe that'll help.
Yeah?
I'm so flaccid! I'm so flaccid!
Sometimes you just need to take a break, right? Everybody needs to start fresh. We hit the reset button, we'll have a little snack, everybody will feel great. I'm so glad I put this microwave in the bedroom.
We have a serious relationship. If you guys can't get me hard,
You should have chose just one of us. This is ridiculous.
look, we're lovers. You're my best friend, and you're the best darn intern a man can hire.
Great.
I want us to be a team. Right? We're all in this together.
Right.
All right,
Get
yes.
me hard! Get me hard! Get me hard!
About your first time. Let's talk about your first time, right?
Grab my journal.
I'm starting to think I'm not getting college credit for this.
Here it is. I seduced the pool boy. We were just young men. He was 21, I was 11. I dressed as Marilyn Monroe. It was the night before Halloween. And I seduced him, and I liked it, and he liked me.
Are you reading that?
I just thought back, I knew the back then.
Well, I'm not sure I can get back into bed because the pool is very dirty.
Boy, let me get this big hose and clean the pool.
Daddy, see the pool, it's dirty.
This thing just sort of sucks everything
Oh,
up.
the sun is so hot.
Oh,
Isn't it hot?
boy, let me rip my shirt off.
Yes.
It moves, it moves.
Look at that, oh boy, look at this thing, it's getting so close.
It's moving a little bit. It's still, it's not.
There's a body.
Yeah, but put some Barry Manilow on.
It's a miracle. True blue
I'm getting an erection, everybody. Everybody, I'm getting an erection. This is very romantic. This is very romantic. I'm touching the floating body. Not bad at all. Nothing weird about this at all.
Sorry, guys. I realize that this is the main house and I'm in the guest house. It's so loud. I don't feel comfortable renting this Airbnb another night.
How dare you talk to Mrs. Monroe that way? Do you know who this is?
She called me Mrs. Monroe.
Mrs. M. Monroe, film star. What is happening?
I'm the only woman with a penis in Hollywood.
Entirely true, but let's keep
Miss
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, she doesn't watch films. That's why she doesn't know who you are.
You don't watch films, dear. Sit down, put on a reel for her. Throw on a reel. A reel.
I see.
So, My date last night was just looking at Instagram all the time. How was your
I mean, I wasn't on a date. But I'm messed up now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm renting this place and it's starting to feel like I'm not safe.
I
You
get
know what
that.
I mean?
Should we go ahead and use the zip lines or?
Yeah, let's do it.
It was really long. And landed.
Wow, that was super unsafe for me.
I just wanted to pay for one artist.
I didn't even seriously injured.
I know.
To be honest, where I gotta go back to, it might have been for the best. Bye.
Hey everybody, my name's Samantha, and I'm addicted to feeling bad.
Hey, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Okay. So, you know how I know that I don't feel good about myself, right? I've been feeling bad, right? And I'm trying to steer clear of all my triggers. Like, don't buy cereal. You hear that? I try not to watch rom-coms, and I definitely don't look up my ex. But can't help but go to the junior high. I live next to a junior high, and I know this is wrong, and I know this is bad, but a lot of those little shits write journals, and I really, really like it. I really, really like it. It makes me feel so bad. These kids, they're like, vapid, you know what I mean? And I think about the future, right? And all they care about is Biebs. Justin Biebs, that's what they care about. Yeah, I didn't know either. Ed Sheeran? Do you know Ed Sheeran? Kesha? Kesha? But it's not spelled how you think. There's a money thing. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that.
Does that
Anyway.
make you feel good?
No, it makes me feel like hell. You know? All these kids, they get away with stuff. Millennials and these kids, they get away with all this shit. We never got away with it.
Okay, that's your 3 minutes.
You know,
I'm supposed to time keep.
you're supposed to raise your hand, not crosstalk when my turn's up, right? You're supposed to go like this when your time's up, right? Somebody else take over timing. Somebody else take over.
She's a stickler for rules.
Sorry.
He's interning. He's brand new.
And when I get to share, it's fucked up.
All right, somebody time him. See if he can get the whole thing.
Give him the chair. Give him the chair.
Yeah.
In a Sid Dangerous Mind style. That's okay. Hey, I'm Terry.
Hey, Terry.
And I don't feel good. I feel bad. I'm an intern for Mr. and Miss Marilyn Monroe. You might remember from Hollywood. She's not dead, she's still alive.
Just wanted to get an erection, that whole thing.
Who else has shared this?
We go. This group is. This is that group. I can't remember the acronym. It's like a half-page long. It's people who have tried to get a woman who thinks she's Marilyn Monroe hard again because she goes
Yeah, I know. We're all.
I think the acronym is like Flabberty Wall.
We don't talk about that meeting in this meeting. This meeting is a meeting for people who can't help but feel bad about themselves. Do things that help them feel bad about themselves.
See, that's the tricky bit. It's the people who who feel bad about themselves because they have worked trying to get the woman get her dick hard. I mean,
Yes,
that's
okay, yes, yes, we all are caught up pointing that. But right now,
Time's up, sucker.
Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Feel bad about myself.
Good.
Not long after I started coming to this group, a certain someone who was also in the group and I got involved. I know it was too soon. I know we were both still feeling pretty bad about ourselves. But I got involved. I care a great deal about this person. This person shut themselves off to me. I kept coming back because it made me feel bad about myself. There was a certain
You work it, and you're worth it.
We'll get there. At a certain point, I felt like I needed to reach her somehow, and I feel real bad about this. I went over to this junior high, started writing things in these kids' journals as a way of trying to communicate my feelings because I don't know how else to tell her I love her, and I knew that she was getting real into the beeps, and I just thought if I wrote some stuff in her journal, maybe she'd pick that journal and she'd realize she loved me and she'd come back to me. I feel real bad about this.
It all makes sense now. No junior high kid would write about Kesha now.
I didn't do it with the dollar sign. I did it with like an ampersand. I feel so stupid.
Anja. I don't know if this is the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me, or if it's just crosstalk.
How was your feelings?
I'm a stickler for rules. Somebody already said I was a stickler for rules.
There's romance in the air. Let it flow.
Yeah, look, have sex so you can go on a date.
Yeah. All of us to choose from.
I think
You don't want to choose.
I think I know.
I think I know who to choose.
This one.
Yeah.
She's the one of the messages in the journal. She said it out loud with the words coming out of her
You
mouth.
know why I pick her? Because she's bad with boundaries. And that's going to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
We didn't work out. Well, am I in the wrong place?
Let the chair! Can't be empty, the chair.
Will you wear this sash?
Yeah, you know, fuck it. I'm just finishing the story. So, where do we leave off?
Someone had introduced someone maybe a
Johanna.
Oh, yeah. So, I was like, you know, obviously upset by this. And I wanted to kind of suss out the situation. So, deep into my addiction of snooping, I read his texts on his computer, and I found out when he was meeting Johanna. So I literally, I knew when he was meeting her and where, everything. And I make a really good detective. And I got in my car, they were meeting, what's that, Echo Park Lake? So I get there with my car, and I see them, from afar meeting at a coffee shop. And she's, a really hot single mom. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I know, he's gonna, want her. So I couldn't find parking. So I kept, circling around. And I was doing a drive-by, you know what I mean? So I couldn't find parking. I kept circling around, looking, and looking back, it's what was I really looking for? Body language, how it was happening. So then I finally find parking, and as I get out of my car, I see him, Sean. I can't say his name. He's already done with the date, so he drives by me in his truck. And I know he saw me. I know he saw me. So I go into panic mode. I'm fuck, I need to cover my tracks. How do I, what do I do? So I went up to these two girls, and I was hey, I go to NYU, and I was like, I'm just doing an assignment where I'm like chronicling my LA trip. Can we take a photo? Photo with them. I posted it. Like, oh, reunion with And like the next day, Sean was like, oh, I saw, it was like the craziest thing happened. I saw you yesterday at Echo Park, and I was like, oh my God, you were there too? And he was like, yeah, and then I saw on Facebook you posted you were with Carla and like whatever, Janet, or not, I made up someone's name. And I was like, oh yeah, they're my New York bitches. Anyway, that's definitely the end of that story. Maybe later I'll try it into something else. Should I tell another story or should? Yeah. Another story. So in one of their improvs, there's a security guard, right?
Probably.
Yeah. On You're the Worst. I'm so happy I'm an actor. I would get fired in any other profession. The base camp security guard on You're the Worst. She kind of looks like Steven Seagal a little bit. Like back hair. She's a lovely woman. She's very lovely. So the last day of filming, I was gone, like I wasn't shooting anymore. She posted on Instagram that I was her Woman Crush Wednesday. So I was very flattered by this. And she's a lesbian, so I was like extra flattered. So I went to set that day because we all were celebrating like champagne, like the last day of shooting. I had just finished with this Sean guy, so I'm like on to the next. I'm like, well, I want to like, maybe I'll fuck a woman next. You know what I mean? So I get to set, and the security guard is there, the base camp security guard, and we start, I'm talking to her, and I'm like, oh, I heard, I saw online that I was your Woman Crush Wednesday, and she was like, well, yeah, like I have such a crush on you, and I was like, oh, thank you, that's so sweet. So I was definitely drunk, and I try to make out with her, and she was like, no, they're gonna think I'm a predator. Like she's like, the producer like isn't gonna like this, and I'm like, no, I'm like, it's fine. So I take her into, and the creator of the show knows all this, so it's fine. So I take her into Chris's trailer. My trailer was gone at that point. And we start making out. And one of the producers like walks in, and to protect her, because I didn't want her to get fired, I like crawled around. I like pretended I was drunk looking for something. And, like I was like, oh, she's just protecting me. So then the next day, she's sweet, and she invited me to like this party with her. Anyway, we're not together, and nothing happened.
Wait, guess who we invited to the show? Security guard! Take a look at this Monet, you art bitches. It's fucking beautiful. Fierce! Monet was fierce. That's a good label. So fucking fierce. Didn't care about anything what people said or anything. Fucking kiss me if you fucking don't want to, then.
Will they, won't they? Let's finish the gallery tour. We're here to appreciate art. We can make out later.
We met in the lobby, and this is already being longer than any relationship. 6 minutes, you're getting on my nerves. Either we do this shit or whatever. Fucking ever. We love the same artwork. We love.
Shh, keep it down, please.
There's a fucking security guard looking at us. Fucking flirting with us. What?
Do you think he's so fetch you go to him?
Oh, now you don't know we exist. Oh, now you don't even see us. What?
Touch the painting.
That got his dander up.
Not quite the reaction I thought. Touch this Picasso. Touch this Degas.
He's imitating us.
Holy shit, we set him free.